Welcome to the 1988 edition of our Wrangler Bullfighting Championship. At the NFR, $102,000 at stake for the top 6. That's the way it'll come down. Joining us in our broadcast booth is an expert in Wrangler jeans bullfighting. This man is the 1984 Wrangler champion, Rick Chapman. Nice to have you here, Rick.
Nice to be here, Hadley. It's my second year up here. I think we figured out about what we're doing. We're liable to have a good bullfight tonight.
Well, let's take a look at the top 6 coming in. Miles Hare, he's a former world champion. He comes in second place. Jeff Kobza, he's been here before. He's in 4th place right now. Mike Horton in 5th. He's the reigning champion. Chuck Kinney, he's a newcomer. Comes in the last hole. Dwayne Hargo, he's been here before in 3rd place. Rob Smets is in the lead.
Hadley, there's only $5,500 between 1st and 6th place in this bullfighting competition. Tonight, a man could go from 6th to 1st, pole vault himself right into 1st hole.
Well, Miles Hare's our leadoff man, Rick. And of the years I've watched this man fight bulls, I've never seen him looking better.
Miles has got a super bull tonight. He's really trying to drop into that bull, trying to drop into the hole. This little bull won't let you cheat on him. You got to be honest with him. You got to keep going around him.
We saw the other bullfighters come on the scene. Anytime they get in serious trouble, the other bullfighters will come in and help him. They'll not interfere with the fight whatsoever. Now, Rick, will it gain for his score after getting hit to bounce back up and come back with the fight?
Oh, definitely. I don't think that if a man's in there really trying hard on a bull like this that's aggressive, I don't think it's really going to count off that much, Hadley, if they knock him down. They're going to bump you around a little bit if you're in there trying.
He reached out and hooked Miles in that right knee. You'll notice he's wearing knee braces on both of the legs. Boy, he's exhausted. He is exhausted.
It's got to be a little tough for him, Hadley. He just fought 15 of the bulls here at the NFR. To come out and be the first in the bullfighting competition and have a bull like that, he really got around the bull good.
Rick, as we look at this again, maybe you could tell the folks at home how possibly he could have avoided this.
As you watch him, he tries to grab a hold of that horn and pull himself around to that bull's shoulder, Hadley. He wants to get in a little pocket that they have there. The bull's pushed him out a little bit, got him out in front of him. Miles needs to turn around, square up with this bull. We didn't see Miles actually go down. What Miles's problem actually was he didn't turn, square up with the bull to where he could move either direction, Hadley. He got himself set one direction. The little bull figured out that direction and just pushed him out into the open.
Well, he scores 73 to set the scene for us. We might advise the folks at home it's a divided scoring system. Half of the consideration of the score will go to the aggressiveness and the control of the bullfighter. The other half, well, that's the victim of the draw, the aggressiveness of the bull.
It's very difficult for a man to come in the first night of the national finals and be first. You set the pace, it's just the luck of the draw again. Jeff Kobza, super bullfighter. He's got a little Harper Morgan bull. This little bull just keeps coming.
Oh, got him. Now, I've watched this man do a move that's very similar to the Mexican matadors or the Spanish matadors. He will turn his back to the bull at times and put his hands in the air.
This man knows no fear. He just really pushes an animal, pushes him to his limits. The little bull just got up under Jeff, pitched him in the air. As you notice now, he's running as hard now as he was when he started the bullfight. What we saw there, Hadley, was Jeff trying to square up with this bull to get a fake, to actually move to the right, shift his weight to the left, and go that direction. It's a little diversion tactic that sometimes works with these little Mexican bulls. A little bit of barrel work there with Quail Dobbs.
We've added another barrel man. Ted Kinsey is at the far end of the arena. So they frankly have 2 sanctuaries with the 2 barrels out there.
Jeff's trying to figure out at this point when to sell the bullfight. You just heard the whistle. He would like to have sold it on a little higher note, Hadley, but after a fight like that, what is a higher note?
Well, and as we await his score, We might point out that it is a 70-second time period. However, the first whistle that sounds indicates the warning whistle. The end of 40 seconds expired. The bullfighter can call the fight from that point on and do it without penalty.
Here we go, Hadley. He fakes to the right, moves to the left.
Ooh.
Little bull just catches where he's going, lifts him up in the air.
The bull didn't take it. This is Michael Horton.
The reigning world champion, Hadley, got one of the super bulls here. Mike makes a mistake, he's going to go down. He gets around this little bull, he might win the first round. You'll notice Mike really jamming back in there to get right at that bull's tail to where when the bull does turn around, he can shift his weight, get into that pocket, really make another tight pass.
This guy's about 6 inches shorter than the other two men we've watched already.
It's amazing the different sizes of bullfighters. Skipper Voss, 6'4", Mike Horton maybe 5'2". Mike's less than 30 seconds remaining. See those little bulls, they know which side you're going around. They might meet you on the other side.
You used the term those little Mexican bulls a while ago. What size are they? About what do they weigh?
Oh, you're going to look at a bull from 11 to 13, maybe 1,500 pounds. They're going to be on an average 400 to 500 pounds smaller than a crossbred bull. Mike had a good fight. Sold it at the end. The little bull pushed him around just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Mike really reaches for that horn to pull in there. Actually missed the horn with his right hand, Hadley, you saw. Skidded past the bull a little bit and it caught him off balance. The bull pushed him down.
Bulls are very quick. They're very wise. They can see those moves in advance, can't they?
And they never quit coming. They just seem to push and push and push. Our next man up, Chuck Kinney. It's the first time for Chuck to make the national finals here.
Well, there's a pretty good look at Mike as his score came in at 77. He moves into the lead of the fight. Jeff Kobza has scored a 71. Miles Hare with a 73. So that's the way we're looking right now.
The bull that Chuck Kinney has is from the Harper and Morgan string. This bull's actually had 3 fights on him this year. The little bull is okay. He's had 1 first place and 2 third places on him. So Chuck's going to really have to push this bull to get him to work for him.
By the way, we had a 77.5 to get a little more precise with Mike Horton. We had a half point also come up to be added on Kobza, so he's a 71.5. We fine-tuned it.
All right, now we go with Chuck Kinney. Chuck's going to stand, square up, really try to make that first round and get his fight off. What you saw there was a step through. He actually steps back against the grain, makes it. It's worth a few more points, Hadley.
Well, that was a nice move.
Oh.
Literally turns his back to the bull.
Offers himself for a split second. There you see a little barrel hop. Another good move. Chuck's got a good fight going tonight.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Really haven't seen any major mistake up to this point, have we, Rick, on this fight?
Definitely not, Hadley. Right here, Chuck needs to do something pretty quick. He doesn't need to let this fight slow down. Little slip between the barrel and the bull there. It's worth a few more points.
Rick, I just heard the sound of the warning whistle. 40 seconds has expired. I would predict, or maybe you could, that if he finds a high point in the fight from this point on, he'll probably flag it, won't he?
Definitely will, Hadley. He knows at this point he needs to sell this fight. There he goes, around the bull one more time. Looks like he was fixed. There he goes, sold the fight. Probably one of the better fights tonight, Hadley. Everything went smooth. There was no major infractions. We're liable to see a high score. 79, 80 points maybe.
All right, we're gonna put you on the. We're going to put you right in the fire. You say about 80, you think he's going to take the lead?
79 to 80
Maybe
points.
we can look at some of those moves in a little slower action. And maybe the folks at home can actually see the chances that those guys take, how close they actually get to the bull.
76.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to this guy, Dwayne Hargo, is what we're going to do.
76.5 points on Chuck Kinney. That's a little off there, Hadley. There you see a super step through, a really aggressive bull. This little guy never quits. Slipped down.
Did he? Oh, man, he got him. He got him. And he's still on him. Hargo bounces right back up. Now, a moment ago, Rick, didn't he actually hang on to that horn when he went down, use the horn to pull himself back up?
Exactly, Hadley. If you can stay on your feet, any way you can get there is the way you want to be. If a little bull pushes you down, you can actually use that horn for a handle to lift yourself back up. You're back on your feet and going around him again.
Rick, that bull caught a horn in the end of that barrel a moment ago. Well, that cost him a point. You're supposed to keep the open end away, aren't you?
Definitely. That's the most dangerous thing for a barrel man, to get that horn in there. There's nowhere for those guys to go. This little bull's got Hargo tired out a little bit. That might be the reason that that open end was offered. Not offered, but the reason that it got around there to where the little bull could stick his head in. We see Hargo really confused at this point.
The dime is called. When you move the bull to the barrel after the fatigue sets in, is that in an effort to kind of regain your composure where you don't have to run for a few moments?
Yeah, you're trying to do that as well as catch a little breath there. Here you go. He just pushes him down. Hargo reaches for the horn, pulls himself back up, squares up with the bull. There, I think he should have gone on around to the right instead of trying to go back against the grain to the left. Once these little bulls got you up on their head, they just toss you around and have total control until you hit the ground and you're able to move out.
79.
All right, we have a 79 score. Now, again, as we talk about the scoring and your prediction earlier of Kenny being in the 80s, and he comes in at 76.5, Hargo takes the lead ahead of him at 79. And before we go to the next bull, a quick update, the medical report on Miles Hare. You and I both know that he has a bad bruise on his ribs. He did not get hooked on the knee by the horn of the bull, but he did get that bump opened up on his ribs. So that's going to be painful, but maybe not take him out of the fight.
It's going to take quite a bit to take Miles out of the fight. He's come in here very healthy. A little bump like that, he's going to go back there to the Justin trainer room, get some medication on it. He'll be back, no problem.
Well, you know, Rick, we're not trying to get you to disagree with our Wrangler Pro officials in any way. But if you could explain to us maybe a couple of things you saw in Kenny's fight that you didn't see in Hargo's that would have put the scores in reverse, maybe would enlighten us.
Well, Hadley, you're actually given 1 to 25 for the bull, 1 to 25 for the bullfighter. The little bull can sometimes be aggressive enough to outweigh what the bullfighter gets done. If a bullfighter is knocked down a couple times and the bull is rated up there 22, 23 points, it's going to hold that bullfighter's total score up there a little higher.
All right.
Possibly a reason.
Good explanation. What do you think of this guy?
Oh, he's unbelievable. 3 times world champion. This guy, when he come from California, the first time I saw him, he was a wild kamikaze. He's got his style down now. He's deadly.
He has that acceleration.
Oh, and no fear, Hadley. He'll actually slow down upon occasion and let a little bull catch up to him so he can be back with the fight.
There's one of those step throughs that you mentioned, and he did it on the run.
You'll just notice that Rob's really arching his back and looking back at the bull, rating the bull. See there? Faked the bull out one way and just ducked off the other.
You're talking about fatigue. I think maybe a little fatigue is set in on the bull now. Rob has really taken him, hasn't he?
Well, when you get those bulls changing directions that many times, it's bound to set in a little bit. He's got the bull confused. I think these bulls actually feel like a boxer sometimes. A guy will go out there, and if he gets knocked down 9 out of 10 rounds, he's going to quit.
Is he going to jump this bull?
I think he is, Hadley. Here he goes. It's a timing move. Up, over, back foot. He caught him just a little bit.
Caught him a little bit. He bounced right up. You're talking about selling a bullfight on a high note. Smets had the good tight contact. It kind of leveled out. He tried to find the spot. He manufactured the spot. That's what he did.
I tell you, Hadley, this boy is what we call hungry. He come into this bullfight to win. He's going to be tough to beat. He wants another world title and another gold buckle to go on that new little baby he's fixing to have.
Well, now the folks here in Thomas and Mack Arena, they have not moved from their seat. They're waiting to see what this score is going to be.
80.5 points.
80.5.
Watch this
80.5.
Hadley, you'll notice it's a timing move. He steps up with the right, with the left, drug the right just a little bit long. The bull pushed himself forward, pushed the leg out from under him, and therefore Rob ended up on his back. I don't think they definitely didn't take any points from him, but they might not have given him any either. they did let him tell it on a high note, and that's what it's all about when you have a fight as good as he had.
Well, it was a good one, 80.5. He'll pick up the win. So there's the way we divide up the bucks. All of them placing in order. Dwayne Hargo in second, Mike Horton in third. Kenny gets a fourth, Hare and Kobza. Well, that wraps up round number 1 of the Wrangler Jeans Bullfight. Rick, thank you for joining us in the booth and offering an insight to Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting.
Thank you very much, Hadley. Remember, tomorrow night we'll have some Borba bulls, a little bit bigger Mexican bulls. It's going to be good watching.
Be right back with us tomorrow night for round number 2 of the Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting. On behalf of Rick Chapman, this is Hadley Barrett saying good night, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to round 2 of the Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting Championship for 1988. Over $102,000 at stake for these 6 men. You see them right there. Our 6 finalists. They include world champion, former that is, Miles Hare. Michael Horton, he's the reigning champion. Dwayne Hargo, he's not won the title yet. Neither has Jeff Kobza. And Kenny is here for his first time. But Rob Smets has won it 3 times, and he is in the lead now. Joining us in the broadcast booth is Rick Chapman, the 1984 champion bullfighter. And Rick, what kind of a pin of bulls we got as we start with Miles Hare?
Hadley, all these bulls come from the Frank V. Barber Ranch. They're about 4 to 5 year old aggressive Mexican fighting bulls. They're going to be a little hotter than I think we saw even last night, Hadley.
All right, Miles Hare stands right square in front of the bull. When they make the release, he makes some good turns. Now, Rick, he got in a little trouble last night, but I guess he came out of it without any injury.
He's a little sore tonight, Hadley. That's really the reason he's really trying to stand there, square up with the bull, grab a horn, and pull around that horn. Miles knows he's got to wait as long as he can tonight on these bulls. You make a mistake on these, they're going to hurt you bad.
Almost took that barrel away from him. Is there any chance of the 70-second bullfight? And we know and advise the folks at home that after 40 seconds you can call the fight off. Did Miles perhaps want to get an early steam and then maybe call it early?
Miles is definitely looking to do that, Hadley, I believe. He fought 15 riding bulls in the NFR. He's a little tired. He was sore from last night. He was waiting on that 40-second whistle. He's hurting a little bit now, it looks like.
Rick, you make a very, very good point about fighting the 15 bulls, and we had a ranked pin of bulls just prior to this round number 2 of the Wrangler Jeans bullfight. And I would imagine that Miles did make that game plan, and very possibly based on that particular reason.
Sure, I heard Miles talking to Lawrence Barber a little bit before the bullfight started. Lawrence said the number 23 bull that Miles had was probably the hottest bull that was out tonight. We'll wait and see. I don't know how they can get much hotter, Hadley.
Well, he has scored 80.5 points, as they do offer half points. When you're dividing up $100,000, that's pretty important. Here's the kid that came here for the first time last year and took the world title away.
He's amazing. He slipped up through the swamplands of Florida, come up to Texas. He's scary.
You know, because you fought bulls against him, haven't you?
You've got it. Mike's going to really wait on this bull tonight. He told me last night he was a little bit disgusted with himself that he didn't wait, really slow up on his bull. Look at Mike. Oh.
That's 2 times in a row they've nailed him. Boy, gets him again going away.
He'll be right back up, going back to him, Hadley. This guy's an amazing athlete. He's really trying to grab a hold of that horn and pull himself into what we call a pocket. Just behind that horn, between the shoulder and the back of the flank. That's where Mike really wants to be when he starts around those bulls.
Rick, if you feel a bull getting a hold of you like that, and if you manage to reach back and get a hold of his horn to keep from getting punched, do you try to lift off, kind of gain some momentum so that you don't have that shock?
Definitely. It's just like a boxer. The closer you get to an animal, he can push you out of there rather than really bopping you out or hitting you like with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Mike's really scrambling now. He's a little tired. He got away with that little hop on the head. They're going to like it.
Again, as we look a little deeper into our rules of the bullfight, the maximum time area, that bull's going to keep him right there, isn't he?
Hadley, taking a look back to it, you'll see Mike starts around this bull, reaches for the horn and to pull himself around. The little horn, the way it was situated, just caught the baggies of Mike, put him off on his head, lifted him up, and then he was just at will, whatever he wanted to do.
A 77.5.
Ooh, the crowd doesn't like that.
No. Well, he's kind of an in-house favorite. To continue our description of the time period, we mentioned a maximum of 70 seconds, and the men can call it off after 40. If you wonder what we're talking about in that warning, Dwayne Hargo, he's up next. What kind of a bull's he got? Do you know this bull?
He's got a strong bull, Hadley. Lawrence told me that this bull was going to do it right out of the chute. This little guy here, he's going to do it with him right out of the chute, I guarantee you.
Hargo likes him coming head on, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Dwayne's got a unique little stutter step about him. When he gets that stutter step to working, he's hard to beat, Hadley.
Well, you call that right, and I saw him exercise that. A moment ago when you mentioned Michael Horton not waiting on the bull, are you talking about charging him too quick when he come out of the chute?
Exactly. Just being, you've got an adrenaline rush going there that you just can't imagine. Sometimes you get a little anxious, you push yourself a little too hard. Sometimes it works against you.
Now a little standoff. They'll be judged on the way they handle that barrel. The man inside of that barrel is former Clown of the Year Ted Kimsey.
As long as he keeps the open ends of that barrel away from that bull and doesn't stay there too long, he's going to be good by going to that barrel, getting him a breath of fresh air, thinking about what he's going to do next.
That's the only sanctuary that he has. Now, as we await the score and time runs out on Hargo, we recap just a bit. Miles Hare's leading it. He was our opening fight, 80.5, then a 77.5 for Horton, and we await the score on Hargo.
Okay, watch Hargo actually move to the right and then shift his weight back to the left and start around that bull. That's what we call a fake, Hadley. You actually get the bull going on the opposite lead, shift direction to the other way, and step into the pocket. Hope you can stay there.
78.5.
There it is, 78.5, 78.5. Hargo will move into second place.
There's something about this next man. It's just Mr. Cool. He goes out by the barrel, takes himself a dip. He's ready to fight his bull.
Oh, he's got it going his way.
He's got it going.
Likes that.
He can get back and square back up. Now the bull's actually pushed him out. He's headed to the fence. He needs to get back out and square up again. Boy, he did not quail out of the way. See, each time he's driving around that horn, really trying to drive back to that shoulder.
He lost his footing.
A little bit of push off there.
Yeah, that might have been a little more like that rap he was talking about.
He's sitting there at the barrel now, catching a little fresh air, trying to go through another game plan, Hadley. The bull's got him pushed out a couple times, pushed him to the fence. He's a little bit confused right now. He needs to sell it at this point, and he does.
He did. You called it exactly right. Hold him out there. I think he nicked him in the chin, too. I think when that bull reached across the barrel, it looked like he might have nicked him on the chin. Look at Quail Dobbs in the background. As we pan the arena for you during the bullfight, you'll notice how some of the other bullfighters are established in a position to help these men out if they get in serious trouble.
See Kobza actually putting on the brakes once he gets just past that tip of that horn and driving back into that shoulder. A 78.5, for taking a couple bumps like that, good score, Hadley.
He's in a tie right now.
Ooh.
For second and third place. That was a little more than a push, wasn't
I believe it was.
Let's go to Kenny. You, I'm sure, will always remember your first time at the national finals. You know what's going through this kid's mind? Is he cool?
He's cool, but there's still something about your first time here. There's nothing like it.
If he comes out flat, this son of a bitch is dangerous here.
Hear him talking to him. He said that I don't know exactly what the name of that bull was, but he said something about that bull might do something to him. And I think he will.
Chuck is really going to have to get squared back up to this bull, or this bull will handle him. He got by with that round, Hadley, just by pure hustle. Now he needs to get back out in the middle of the pen, get squared up, collect his thoughts, make some rounds around this little fast bull.
If I might compare this kid with your style of bullfighting, Rick, he doesn't fight near as close to the bull, or he doesn't this one anyway, but he does have one of your talents, and that is that acceleration. Boy, he can move quick, can he?
It's essential. he gets into a jam that he's really not comfortable with, he can leave out of there, and 9 chances out of 10 he's going to make his way out.
Yep.
Here what we see is a jump coming, up, over, super jump.
Good, clean
Super jump.
Good, clean jump.
That jump is definitely a timing move, Hadley. When it works, you'll see the crowd standing on their feet, they're cheering. When it doesn't, you get another little bump like Jeff Kobza took a little earlier.
I hear some of you guys talking from time to time, and I hear conversations like, I used to jump those bulls. Is that kind of a young man stunt?
Definitely a young man stunt. If you ever hear me say I used to jump bulls, it's a lie.
Well, that was a good, clean jump.
All this is, sadly, is definitely a timing move. He wants to push off of that left foot, lift it up, let the right foot come over, very similar to a hurdle. We're up with the left, lift the right, just over the tip of the horn. He actually bumped the horn, hit the ground, landed good. He's ready to sell it.
It was clean. It was clean. 77, and you heard in the background the audience not approving of that at all.
Hadley, one of the most difficult things about this bullfighting competition is to judge it. There's no way I would take that pencil in my hand. It's just something that you see it different. You see it from different angles. It's different. If you've never been out there in the pen, it's also a little different because you don't know whether that bull is really aggressive or you're being really aggressive and putting yourself in those spots. So it's hard to judge.
I would imagine in watching it over the years as I have, and I've been involved in the program since its inception, there are times when it may look to me like you're in trouble and you're not in trouble. There are other times I may think that you're in good shape and you know you're in a jam. It's very difficult for the officials to know all of that.
It definitely is, and especially from 4 different angles, the way we're judging it here at the finals.
We have one vapor locked in the gate. Kenny Claybaugh has put a rope on that roan bull, and he's got him out now. Well, Rob Smets has won 3 world titles. He came here with an awful good chance at it again, as you quoted in our opening round. Quite frankly, with the big money up, any of the top 6 could win it. Smets wins the first round, and now he's in the lead.
I think that's all it's going to take, Hadley. If this feller wins this round tonight, they better look out. You better go put your money on the boy from Oregon.
What did somebody say? Did you tell me that he had another new baby, and every time he has a new child, he has to win a world title?
I'm telling you what, Sammy Joe's in the hangar. She needs a buckle. Rob's one of the few guys that I've seen on these Mexican bulls that will actually slow down, let the bull catch up to him so he can be as close to possible. Super fake right there by Rob.
I call this defense. When the bull is charging and you're playing defense, you may call it offense, but it's the easiest fight to conduct, isn't it, when the bull's charging?
Definitely. What you're seeing there, Hadley, is Rob making step throughs. That's more points than even a round would be because he's turning his back to that bull for just a split second, stepping through the danger zone, squaring back up with the bull. Rob's really noted for his jumps towards the end of these matches.
He's backing off for it right now.
I knew it was fixing to happen, Hadley. Sammy Joe, get ready, baby. You got a new buckle coming. There we go.
He makes it, fades a little to the right because the bull really didn't take the charge that he should have when he got there.
Rob's bull was really not as aggressive as some of the other bulls we saw tonight, but I think he handled him real well. I think they're going to like this one.
Well, as we await the score, again, Miles Hare has the lead with 80-5. Look at this.
Okay, here we go, Hadley. He's actually running to the bull, being the offense. Sliding around, that's a step through. Stepping back with his back to the bull. Here he turns completely around, squares back up. One more time.
So it's a 77 score for Rob Smets. So Miles Hare comes back strong in round 2, exactly what he needed to do. With an 80-5, he will win the round. We're going to split second and third place. Dwayne Hargo and Jeff Kobza will come up with that. Then we move to Michael Horton's 77.5. You see those half points coming in. The next 2 holes will go to Kinney and Smets. What a luxury it is to our viewers to have an expert and a man that has been there to call the action for you. Rick, it is great having you with us in the booth.
Thank you very much. It's enjoyable for me to talk about something and educate people to what I do for a living. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, and Rick will be right back with us in round number 3. Thanks for joining us, and so long, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to round 3 of the 1988 edition of the Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting Competition. Rick Chapman, the 1984 champion of this event, has joined us in the broadcast booth. And Rick, things have tightened up as we go into round 3.
Well, I tell you, Hadley, they've really pulled them together. We've got a little under $1,250 between first and third place.
We're going to take a look at the way they come in. Here's the man you'll see fighting. Dwayne Hargo has taken the lead. He came in third. He's now in the lead. Smets and Hare are tied for second and third. Then it's Horton, Kobza, and the newcomer, Chuck Kenny. That's the way they stand. And, well, the top money winner, Hargo, has won over $11,000. We might caution the folks who are viewing this event for the first time that the duration of the fight is 70 seconds. However, the warning whistle that will sound during the course of that fight indicates 40 seconds has been expired, and it means that the bullfighter at that point can call the fight. And I'm sure that Rick Chapman will point that out to you folks as we watch it. Here we go.
Hadley, the first bull we're going to see out tonight is a bull called Iceman, number 8 of the Harper Morgan string. He is a typical Bramer. He'll just kind of set you up out there and really wait on you to get out in front of him.
We've got a man down. We have got a man down, and I think he is hurt. Rick, I know in watching you guys over the years, you don't stay there unless you're hurt. You see those other men moving in to control the bull. What do you think it was? Can you see it? Rick, as we watch it again, maybe you can tell us what happened here.
Here we go, Hadley. I tell you what I thought happened. The bull actually run him down, and just as he did, he popped his front hoof on the back of Kenny's head right there as he went over.
Man, you could see it, that right front foot right on Kenny's right shoulder.
2,200 pounds coming down on you, Hadley. Something's got to give somewhere.
Now, a little comfort we can add to this is Don Andrews and Dr. J. Pat Evans are on the scene on behalf of our Cowboys and their medical needs, and we'll certainly hope that this is not an injury of a serious nature, but it looked awful bad for that shoulder, awful bad. Well, Kenny will go out on this, and he'll not be able to complete the fight. Well, what will be the results of that in the scoring, Rick? Will that officially be a no score for this round?
Hadley, I saw some scores come up out of the corner of my eye a second ago. I thought the way the rules read is if you did not make the 40-second whistle, you did not receive a score. I'm not for sure what they've done at this point.
That was my understanding as well, and I think that was the seasonal ruling. However, they may have some new ground rules here. Looks like he was looking a lot better as they move him away.
Hadley, the next bull is well noted by all the fans. Crooked Nose, 111 of the Harry Vold string. Boy, he's a rank bull with that one horn, Hadley. You make a mistake with this bull, you're going to get run over. Miles, he's really looking good on this bull tonight.
He told me he had this bull up in Montana one time, and the bull got his horn in his suspenders on those Wrangler jeans and almost threaded him. Now, Rick, you have fought this bull how many times?
I've fought this bull 4 times at the national finals. 3 times I can remember him just doing what he wanted at will. The 4th time I got even, I got a world buckle out of it.
All right.
At 40 seconds now, the whistle's gone. Miles is really thinking what he can do to sell this fight.
Rick, this man, I understand, has 3 broken ribs that he received in last night's fight, was it?
He's unbelievable. He knew what he had tonight. There was no way he was going to give up tonight. He was coming back. He's got those ribs taped just as tight as he can tape them and still breathe.
Well, he had it timed with the 70-second whistle pretty close, and as we await the score for Miles Hare, we have a very encouraging report coming to the booth, Rick. I understand the preliminary examination shows that Kenny is going to be all right.
He's back in the arena now, Hadley. I see Kenny walking along the side. He's looking good. It'll just knock a man silly. Let's go back and look at this in slow-mo. What Miles did is let the bull come out. He ducked behind the barrel, let the bull go by the barrel, set up, Then Miles squared up, tried to make his first round. 79.5. Miles is real happy with that on Crooked Nose. Look at this bull really drop his shoulder in there and turn that horn to where he can get you on his left side or his right.
He's some kind of a bad dude. They tell me that the side the horn's not on is the one you can't get around.
There it is, Hadley. Our next man, Dwayne Hargo, he's got a Stevens bull tonight. L6 is the bull's number. This is actually the first time I've seen this bull. He's supposed to be real aggressive, but towards the 40 seconds, really checks up a little bit.
Rick, in the first 2 rounds, we had the Mexican Fighting Bulls. This bull was probably twice as big. Do you have to make a different game plan for one like this?
You sure do, Hadley. They're a little bit slower towards the, whoop, almost up and out of the pen. Towards the end of the fight, they'll really slow up a little more so than the Mexican bulls will. You really have to expose yourself on a bull like this to get any good rounds out of him. You see him pick him off that barrel?
And that barrel weighs about 300 pounds with the man in it. We've added another barrel for the bullfight, so we have Quail Dobbs and Ted Kimsey both in here. It's another sanctuary for the bullfighter.
These old bulls, once they get a little tired, they're the hardest to work that there is. You have to overexpose yourself to really get anything out of him. Dwayne realized that, sold it just as soon as he got that last little turn.
I think that one of the things that some of our novice fans of bullfighting don't realize is when those bulls appear to be a little lazy like that, they can move like a mountain lion, and they can do it so quick.
It seems that when they act a little lazy like that is when they're actually setting you up, Hadley.
73 is the score.
You'll notice, like just there, Dwayne got knocked down, pushed out in front of the bull. These bulls will give you a little more chance to get up and get to your feet than the little Mexican bull will. The little Mexican bulls just really keep coming.
Well, we've scored 73 for Hargo, so Miles Hare still holds his lead, and here's the guy that was very, very tough in the opening round, moved into the lead, then he lost it to Hargo in the round last night, and I'll bet Smets has it on his mind to get it back.
This 3-time world champion, I talked with him this afternoon. He wants to win this round. He wins this round, he feels that he's really got a good shot of the world. A nice step through to start it off. Actually faked the bull out enough that the bull dropped to his knees. Smets is really going to hustle this bull. Pulling on that horn, trying to get into that pocket. We have a problem. 3 of the steers come back out of the alleyway. Rob didn't want to see this, Hadley. He had a good bullfight started. You can tell he's upset. We're going to have to go to the judges for a call on this one, Hadley.
Well, I would imagine that we'll be looking at a refight, and you're absolutely correct. He had an awful good start. Now, Smets, and I think you described him very adequately in our second round when you said he started out as kind of a kamikaze. And then after a couple of years, Rob really settled down, and that's what I think has developed the great bullfighter that we have in that man right there. We'll await the ruling from our officials, but I would imagine it will be a refight, and should that be the case, I would imagine they'll hold Rob's bull to the end of the fight so he can kind of catch his breath.
Hadley, what they sometimes do is we'll stop the clock at the time that they had the problem and give him that many more seconds to fight that same bull over. We'll just have to see what they do.
All right.
Mike Horton, our defending world champion, he's got a light-colored brindle bull from the Stevens Ranch. He told me he was really going to have to hustle this old bull to keep him going through the whole 70 seconds.
Now this little guy at about 5'6", and that bull has to look like a giant. Nice barrel jump.
Nice barrel hop. Really nice. He needs a couple more rounds out here in the open now, Hadley, to really cinch this round here. You see him setting Ted back up. He really needs to hustle up behind this bull. Square up with the bull just like he is now.
30 seconds.
Get him a good sell and leave it at that. And there it was.
All right, he finds the turn, and again, we've talked about these bulls becoming kind of sully when they back in the corner, and again, I'm not sure that I describe it accurately, Rick, but when the bull backs in the corner and you have to go after him, that seems to be like you have to do a little offense rather than the defense.
It's the most dangerous situation there is in our competition. You actually have to go and overexpose to get the bull to even think that he's got you. This feller takes a hit better than anybody that I've seen. when you don't weigh but 110 pounds, you can kind of get pushed around. It doesn't hurt that bad.
I don't know. You fly a little higher, but you don't land as hard when you come down.
There you go.
81.5. 81.5. And Horton has gone into the lead.
81.5 for Michael Horton.
Now we're offering the half points in the bullfighting, and we saw how important that was in our, I believe, our opening round when we used those halves.
Definitely important. Here at the national finals, we do have 4 judges. It's the best way to judge. You throw out the high and the low. It's sure a fair way to do it. I really enjoy this way.
We're going to go to Jeff Kobza. I've watched this man during the '88 year. It appeared to me that he had changed his style a little. Maybe not basically, but became a little flashier than he was years before.
Well, he needs to work on those britches a little bit to get real flashy. Here we go. He's got a really good bull. L17, again, of the Stevens Ranch. This bull's going to come hard. Jeff's handling him real well. He's dropping back into that shoulder, into the pocket where he wants to be, Hadley.
Well, that bull is chargy. He's hot for a big boy, isn't he?
Moves very quick, very quick. Jeff's setting the barrel up. He needs to get out there in the open again, square up with this bull, and get him a few rounds like he started with.
When you have some close head-to-head competition like he did for about 15 or 20 seconds, if you spend 10 or 12 going after the bull to get your setup back up, that really doesn't cost you a great deal, does it?
No, I don't think so, Hadley. I think that it's worth more to go and set him up right again than actually have him push you out and him just trail behind you. Jeff's really having a hard time getting this bull to start again.
This bull's going to wait for him now. He missed him when he used the other style, and now Jeff is throwing in the towel. He can do that legally without any penalty for doing that after that warning whistle.
I think these bulls in the back of their mind, if you get out there and you get around them for a good 30 or 40 seconds, it's like, I can't catch him, I'll slow down and give up, wait for my own shot. And that's when they start to set you up.
To a novice bullfighting fan, I would imagine the 70 seconds doesn't sound like a very long period of time. It can be an eternity out there, can't it?
Definitely. It seems like it's never over.
What was he?
It's a 77 score for Jeff Kobza.
Super moves here, Hadley. Excuse me, super moves. Just really grabbing a hold of that horn. He almost uses that horn like a handle. Once he gets his hand on it, he wants to pull himself around there into that pocket that I was telling you about. Right there at the back of the front shoulder, in between that and the flank strap. That's where a guy really wants to be to keep out maneuvering an animal.
Well, that's a safer place to be than out on the end of that horn or out in front of him, I would imagine. But I suppose that's kind of a sanctuary for you guys. If you can make the turn, fold in behind the horn, and just kind of keep his head away from you, a half a step out.
There it is. All you got to worry about then is how long can you stay?
Right. It can be a long time. $102,000 up for grabs. This entire tour began with 16 bullfighters. We conducted some 30 bullfights on our regular season, and the top 6, based on the money that they've won during the course of the regular season, are here for the 100 grand, and it's enough money that anybody could win the world.
It's been a tight competition all year long, Hadley. To come into this finals and be this close, I knew it was going to be good watching.
Well, you know, we have the guy that's won the least amount of money is Chuck Kenny with $5,300 at the end of 2 rounds. So if he could even keep up that pace, he'd win 10 grand before he left here. And we've got one man, Hargo, that's won well over 11,000. 2 more that have won 9, 6, and 8. It's big dough.
It'll take us just a couple of moments to run this bull at 190.
Rob's still a little confused as to what they're fixing to give him for a refight. Looking back through the chutes there, I can only guess at this point, but I believe they have drawn him another bull, Hadley.
I think they have, too. As a matter of fact, we have that confirmed from our officials now as that comes up to the booth.
Thus far along with the Wrangler Bullfight competition. Is this not the greatest rodeo in the world? No matter where you are from, we're proud you're here with us. We hope that you stay with us all throughout the week. Thanks so much for the hospitality of all of our hotels and casinos and everything that is going on this week for the benefit of you, our rodeo fans.
Not yet.
Making this such a great rodeo. As we said, tomorrow morning at 9.
I'm sorry, Zol. I missed a piece of that information about our good night. I missed a piece of that information about our good night. Okay. Okay. Skipper. It's yeah, good plan. It's Wick Path. Is it? We have just confirmed from our officials that Rob Smets is going to get a refight bull. It'll be a different bull. So okay. Here is Rob Smets. Here's a man that moved into first place at the end of round 1. He lost that lead in round 2, and he's going back after. Whoa, what a way to start.
I tell you what, Hadley, this is going to make him mad. That's about all this is going to do. He's really going to grab hold now and push on this animal. There's something about getting knocked down that really gives a little disgust to a guy and wants him to go out and really hustle and show the bull then. That's probably the best thing that could have happened the first 2 seconds of Rob's bullfight.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He didn't handle that well, lit on his feet. And as you said, I guess it made him mad because he went right back after it.
What you see Rob doing now is really easing that barrel up there. He realizes the bull, once he got around him 2 or 3 times there, is really weakening. Now he's plan B, working on plan B.
The warning whistle has already sounded, so he is at liberty to call the fight. He finds a good turn and takes it right there.
I don't think it's going to be quite the score that Rob was hoping for, but certainly going to be good for the way it started out.
Man, oh man.
And he's standing on his own 2 feet. Real fine lumber. The air was knocked out of him. Good to have you back with us.
Well, I'll tell you what now. Now Rob squared off with that bull, and I think we're going to get a chance to see that opening charge again. Maybe we can see exactly where he misjudged him.
There's something about standing and waiting on a bull to throw him a fake. You stand long enough, the fake works. You leave a little bit early. It could be a split second too early, Hallie, and he's going to push you out of there like he did Rob.
Well, he scores 77. You can see him bounce right back up, goes on with the fight, and he's going to place again. Looks like he'll share about a 3rd and 4th as we divide up the money in round number 3, and we see Rob Smets flying in the air. It's going to be a big win for Michael Horton. He needed to come back and do that. Miles Hare will win 2nd place. Kobza and Smets are going to split the next 2 holes. Then we divide it up between Hargo and Kinney. Well, we thank Rick Chapman for joining us in our booth and bringing some insight to our novice fans of bullfighting. Rick?
Glad to be a part of it, Hadley.
Rick and I'll be back with you in round 4. Thank you for joining us, and good night, everyone, from our 88 edition of the Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting. Welcome, everyone, to round number 4 of our 1988 Wrangler Bullfighting Championship. Round number 4 and the last round, I might add. As we update you, going into the bullfight, you see Ted Kimsey coming across your screen. He is our added barrel man, as we have 2 in the Wrangler Jeans Bullfight. That'll add a little extra safety or another sanctuary for our bullfighters. Holding the lead coming into the final round is Miles Hare. Rob Smets is right on his heels, about 2,000 behind, and Dwayne Hargo's not far off.
Hadley, we ought to see a really good round tonight from Chuck. He's out just for the go-around. He said he was going to let it all hang out.
Chuck Kinney is the newcomer, the new kid on the block in our top 6 coming to the finals.
He's got him started, Hadley. He really wants to drive back into that shoulder. If Chuck will go and square back up with that bull now and make 2 or 3 more rounds like he started, he'll have a super fight going.
You can see that bull slamming that barrel around.
300 pounds, it doesn't take anything for him just to nudge it out of the way. At this point, Chuck's really wanting to get 2 or 3 more good passes, wait for that 40-second whistle to blow, and then find him out. There's the 40-second whistle. There's a little bump for Quail Dobbs. Chuck's looking. Looks like we might have a jump here, Hadley. Up. Nope.
Couldn't make it. The timing was
how did he get away from that? Unbelievable.
I think maybe the bull was maybe just as tired as Chuck was at that point. Kind of a slow motion situation there, but that's very unusual.
I don't know how, Hadley.
I don't know if Chuck lost his footing when he got there, whether he changed his mind when he got there, or what it was.
Got his Mexican sombrero on tonight. He's ready to show these little Mexicans what it's about.
I don't know how you can stay home. Turned around, faced him, and that bull is on Jeff. Loaded him right on top of his horns. He's still on his feet, Rick.
He's hurting a little bit there. You see him gimping just a little. He's not going to quit. This cowboy is one tough feller. He's going to try to get the little bull to bounce off that back end now. Jeff's going to square up with him. Maybe do a little barrel work, try to get his air back.
The bull slowed down just a little. He entered the arena. He came off the backside of that chute about 45 miles an hour.
Jeff's really wondering right now, how can he get one more pass and get this thing sold? The bull's actually taking control of the fight. Jeff needs to go back in there, regain control, get a good sell, and get this thing over with. Around the horn to the left side.
I think Cobza may call it right there. The maximum time period is 70 seconds, but after the first whistle, it means 40 seconds of the 70 has expired, and from that point on, you can call the fight and do so without penalty because of terminating it a little bit early.
You just want to find a high note there to sell that thing on, Hadley.
I'm curious to see how he ended up facing the bull after the bull knocked him down. Maybe have a chance to see exactly what happened here.
These bulls will lead very similar to the way a horse will lead, Hadley. Whoop, there he goes. He just tipped him off to that side and got him spun around. Then he just had him where he wanted, out in front of him. Lifted him back up with those little crook on that horn. It's just like a lift there. Get up under it, and he's going to put you on top of his head.
He's pretty catty. Looked like he kept those horns away from him, even though he was loaded. Walking back, 72.5 points, 72.5.
Our next man to go, Hadley, our reigning world champion, Mike Horton. He's got the fighting bull of the year for 1988. This bull is a hot little rascal.
That's all about hard the gate off.
Mike's going to really have to hustle to keep getting around this bull. Two really good rounds there, stepping back into that shoulder.
Hang on, 12 down.
Michael picks him up off that barrel, pushes him down. Let him away.
Chuck Kenny was right on the scene. Might have saved his chili.
This little bull and Mike are just as tired as each other.
Did you see him hit that barrel going wide open?
These little guys get on that barrel, Hadley. They like to push it all the way to the fence and then punch it twice.
That bull can take a barrel away from you, too. He's that quick.
And a little barrel hop.
The bull come around the barrel and caught him on the other side.
They're smart, Hadley. They're smart.
Mike Horton says, I'll gun him down. It's legal in the arena of Thomas and back tonight.
Put the pistols up, cowboy. 63, the bull of the year. What a fight, Hadley.
Oh, man, that was hot.
What he's trying to do is really follow this bull up. The bull turns and looks at him. He tries to grab a hold of the horn and get around that edge. 86 points. 86. This Mike is really proud to get that. The bull of the year, the reigning world champion, 86 points. What a fight.
Now, Horton came in at 36,750 in fourth place in the final round. If he should win this round, how much money can he pick up?
He'll pick up $7,500 on this round, Hadley.
That could be enough to win the championship. Depends on what happens to Heron Smets and this guy.
Oh, what rounds he's making, both ways. Super rounds. This little guy is getting with it tonight. He's wanting this championship, Hadley. He's going to square back up with this bull. Get him another round or two. He's got a good fight going. Drops into that hole. Just laid down there a minute, let him go on by. He'll get even.
I think he's upset. I think Dwayne's mad because he let that bull get over the top of him.
He's trying to stand now and square up, throw a fake to this bull and get around him. What a move there. These little guys are so catty nowadays. Wonder what happened to the good old days, Hadley.
Yeah, what happened to the good
Here
old
we go,
days?
barrel hop, up, over.
It is 80.5 for Hargo. 80.5. That'll put him in second place. Horton still leads. These next two men, Miles Hare and Rob Smets, well, they're going to tell the story.
It's going to come down to them, isn't it, Hadley? $1,725 between these two fellers. Rob Smets, 3 times world champion. Talked with him this afternoon. He said he was going to go let it all hang out.
I'll bet he will. I talked to Miles Hare earlier, and he said he drew the bull that he wanted.
He drew the bull and the place, Hadley. Miles is last in the go-around, so he gets to look at what everybody else gets done. Little step through to start Smets' fight off right there. This little bull's got quite a bit of gas to him, Hadley. Hadn't spooked this feller yet.
No, he hasn't. He's been right on his back bumper.
This guy will actually slow up occasionally and let these little bulls catch up so he can be a little tighter in there. Smets needs another couple rounds out here in the open. And that patented jump. Boy, them little bulls can handle that barrel. They'll just take it away from a bullfighter.
Uh-oh, we may be looking at yet another jump. Look at Smets get clear back the length of the arena.
I think that's what we're going to see, Hadley.
Here he comes.
Here we go, a timing move. Up, up. Oh, what a toss. What a toss. This ground is getting deep, Hadley. These guys are getting tired. That's not going to make Smets quit, though. He'll go right back. He's a little sored up. He better get something done. And there's a sell.
He calls for it right there.
He let her all hang out, Hadley.
What do you think, Rick? Do you think it'll be good enough to move into second place? I doubt if it'll be enough to beat Horton. Let's see what kind of trouble he got in here.
Actually, when he set that foot, it looked like he just didn't get any push off of it. Nope. A quick toss.
83.5 points. 83.5.
All right, it's going to be 83.5, Rick. On that one, that'll put him into second place. This thing is really getting tight. You know that?
It's coming down. I tell you, $1,725 between Rob and Miles. Miles was the first world champion ever. He wants this to happen again. You see Miles there actually setting those two barrel men. Ted Kimsey, Quail Dobbs, exactly where he wants them. He's got a plan for this bull. He's got a plan A and a plan B. So if everything works out right, he'll start this bull right out of the chute and really push.
Here's the final bull fight of tonight.
Little blue bull here. Miles really starts him off good. Needs to pull on around there and get in that hole, Hadley. Oh, what a fight. What a fight.
Oh, man, he's going to go for it. And, Rick, if he scores 80.5 points, that would put him in a tie with Hargo for third and fourth. That would put a deadlock on the world championship between him and Rob Smets.
Wow.
However,
How close?
If he can win third, I think he's going to get it.
He's really needing this bull to pull off of that fence now, Hadley, and get him another round or two.
Yeah, he really
Miles
does.
this is a crucial point right here. Miles has got to push this animal if he's going to win this title.
The bull is quitting him a little. That's absolutely the worst thing that could have happened to him.
There's the 40-second whistle, a quick barrel hop. He's going to push him just a little bit more. He needs more than 80 points. He's going for an 85.
We take another pretty good look in our instant replay of a good fake by Miles Hare. He was trying to get a little bit more out of that bull. The bull was not quite aggressive enough for him. Miles had fought the bull before and frankly expected a little bit more out of him. It was late in the fight that the bull left him a little bit flat. As we tabulate it for you, we'll show you first of all how they split up the go-round money. Mike Horton won it going away. Smets wins second place. Hargo and Hare are going to split third and fourth. Chuck Kinney picks up a fifth place win. Kobza, who had a disastrous fourth round, picks up the last hole in our go-round. In the championship, well, they fought it to a draw. Rob Smets and Miles Hare, you can see it right there, $45,250 each. Horton will win third. Those are the national standings. Hargo, Kobza, and Kinney. That's the way it is in 1988 for the Wrangler Jeans Bullfighting Championship of the World. On behalf of my co-host, Rick Shatman, this is Hadley Barrett saying so long, everybody.
This is not tennis. It's not croquet. It's rodeo, and it's bad. Here's Rodeo Bloopers 4 with the baddest bloopers ever. They're the most gut-wrenching, arm-stretching, the most death-defying, downright and dirty. And for you, it'll be the funniest video ever. You loved Rodeo Bloopers 1. You bought hundreds of thousands of Rodeo Bloopers 2 and 3. Now, here's the awesome sequel, Rodeo Bloopers 4. You can get your copy today by calling 1-800-331-1269. It'll be a video that you'll watch over and over and over again. Order yours today for just $19.95 by calling 1-800-331-1269. Call now. History-making rides, 70 of them, the most awesome bull rides of the last 5 years. In this tape, watch Norman Curry at NFR 90 when he rode 10 for 10. Did Wade Leslie earn 100 points? The only perfect score in history? Watch and judge for yourself. Awesome bull rides of the 90s. Never has there been anything like this. To get your copy of Awesome Bull Rides for just $29.95, call 1-800-331-1269. The top 3 dozen bull riders in the world standings were invited to Bull Busters 2 in El Paso, Texas. In 2 great performances, both on this video, they matched their abilities against the best bulls of 8 great stock contractors. Watch world champions like Cody Custer, Tuff Edeman, and Ted Noose, and challengers like Clint Bronger, Michael Gaffney, and Mike Erickson. Order yours today by calling 1-800-331-1269. It's just $19.95. Get yours now.